All right, so today we have Jessica Rodgers here. She is one of our featured artists at the Draw online store, and she has 5 prints for you to purchase at the store this month. So, hi, Jessica. Before we get into your artworks, why don't we talk about you? How did you become an illustrator?
Well, so I've been drawing or illustrating my whole life. Fun story. My grandmom and I, when I was little, like real little, we used to sit and watch Bob Ross paint, and we would draw whatever he was painting with charcoals.
Yes.
So it's kind of just been my whole life. And then high school took it very seriously, and then went to college for design and fashion design.
Yes.
When I got into that industry, I just realized that I really wanted to be drawing. So then I just kind of pursued that more and kind of got another job where I could kind of fit both into my life.
So did you actually sort of like self-taught yourself to draw, or did you actually learn it in school?
Well, I always did it, and apparently there's a lot of artists in my family, so I think it's kind of in my blood.
In your DNA, yes.
And then when I got to high school, it got more serious, and obviously in college, more serious.
That is so cool. And how do you describe your illustration style?
Very detailed. I love to do all the details. It's like when I feel the most relaxed, I just get lost in the details. Whimsical, I don't know.
Colorful. I think your works are pretty colorful as well.
Yeah.
Yes, and you love to actually incorporate your artworks with architecture as well. So do you actually have a thing for buildings?
I definitely have a thing for buildings. I love to travel. So whenever I travel, like that's kind of like we walk around the cities to like look at the buildings. And I live in Philadelphia, which is, very historic. And there's so many old, beautiful buildings here that just have like so many details.
Yeah.
My favorite building in Philadelphia is like our city hall. And every time I go by there, I see something different. So it's just like so cool to me that, there's all these buildings with all these details that someone made at some point, and people aren't making buildings like that anymore.
Yes, it's just so cool. It's so beautiful. The details, the structure is really different than the modern buildings we see right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
but how did you come up with the idea of combining fashion and architect together, though? Because this is like your niche, and I don't see a lot of people doing that.
I think it actually started with the one drawing that you're gonna show.
Okay.
I just was like, what? I love both fashion and architecture. Why am I not drawing them together? And why am I not drawing fashion in Philadelphia?
Okay, so now we know. So now let's get into your works. Let me see. This is the first piece, and give us some information about this awesome illustration.
So this is the hand-blown glass dress by Iris Van Herpen. And the collection was displayed in this beautiful building. And this dress in particular gave me she just looked like kind of like a ballerina, like the silhouette, and so I just kind of went with that. That's why I gave her arms, very elegant and ballerina-esque. Yes. And I just tried to capture the awesome archways and everything that was in the background where she had the show.
So cool. And did you hand draw every single bubbles in that piece?
I sure did.
Can you maybe tell me how many hours it took you to do that?
Oh man, I think this probably took me a couple of weeks. I don't know exactly how many hours, but it definitely took time. But that's just, I love to do that. So it just didn't matter how long it took, as long as it looked good,
So what medium did you use? Like, I know you have used color pencils. I think there's marker here.
So this is probably the bubbles, especially, is a lot of colored pencil. And then the background is mostly marker. I use like the Prismacolor Copic markers.
Wow, it's so fascinating. Whenever you send me those works, I would be like, how did she do it?
Lots of time.
Lots of time, absolutely. Let me see. And this piece.
Yes.
I know it's Valentino. I actually have this piece at my house right now.
Yes.
Tell us more about this.
Yes. So going back to what I said before about Philadelphia and my favorite building, City Hall.
Yes.
This is actually a doorway, one of the doorways of City Hall. Each of the doorways of City Hall is different and has like something different on it.
Yes.
But this dress just reminded me of like Cinderella leaving I don't know, the ball or something. And I just love the archway with the like chandelier in the background and her holding her dress, just kind of like fairy tale-esque.
Going away, moving away. Oh my God, it's time to go.
Yeah, it's over.
Yes, but for me, I like the most. I mean, it's one of my personal favorites because I love this Valentino collection, and I also love the sign Justice. It's sort of, it reminds me to make sure that I'm always like fair and doing the right thing. And it just when these two things combine together, I was like, oh my God, this is so cool.
Well, thank you very much. I thought so also.
Yes, it's sort of like my personal favorite from all times. Like aside from all the works I've seen from other artists, this one is still one of my favorites. It's the details. So yeah, if you look at the floral details on the gowns, again, I have no idea how many hours it took you to actually create that.
It's a marathon of drawing. Yeah.
I don't know. I can only appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. But yeah, it's just like, I don't even realize sometimes how long it's taking me because I'm just having like, it's just relaxing to do it. So
much fun. It's so cool.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so this one is actually a collaboration I did with you. I think it's last year or the year before.
Last year.
Last year. It's basically on Montclair Genius.
Yes.
So maybe you can give us a little more information. I only remember I gave you the idea of like putting two collections together.
Yes.
But then you came up with the whole concept.
Yes. So you obviously have inspired me more to keep going with the fashion and architecture together.
Yeah.
So when you talked to me about doing this collaboration, you suggested maybe you can put your architecture in there too.
Yep.
So I don't know. I don't know what it is with me and ballerinas. I just felt like it was very feminine and put them in a very like museum, like old school, very ornate room. And I don't know. Maybe she's like the main ballerina and she's just learning or something. I don't know.
but remember,
she's definitely a
diva. she has a photo inside the house. I always wonder if this is actually her house.
Well, I don't know, but that room is inspired by Antonio Gaudi's Casa Batlló in Barcelona. Yes. I just love his work. And then, yeah, maybe that is her house.
That could be her house. I love this whole like idea. And even when you look at this part, she is dancing. Like yes. I think there's just so many things to look at in this piece. And then after that, when you look at the girl, she basically is dancing into this room.
Yes, I mean, she is just a ballerina and she is just going to dance her way through her beautiful house.
And she's also a really expensive ballerina.
Yes, for sure. She bought Gaudi's house and she's just dancing through the house.
And also, I love the fact that it has all the floral elements in this piece. It's sort of really showcase your talent, like your skills. Because when I look at, I think the mannequin is the Richard Queen's collection. And when I looked at the details, I was like, how did she do that? Again, how many hours? And again, you don't use computer to do it. So that made me go like, wow.
Well, thank you. I really enjoyed putting the reflection on the ground too. That was one of my favorite little touches.
Part must be so hard to do it because you have to plan. Okay, when it comes to hand drawing, you have to plan ahead, right? You cannot just like do it and erase it. But I don't even know your drawing process. Like, do the sketch. How did you come up with all the cool ideas? Mind blowing.
Well, what's so funny is I don't know if you can see when I was getting ready for this.
Yes.
I found this. Can you see this?
Yes, I can
This
see
was the
that.
sketch of the doorway for the Valentino one. I just randomly opened this today to write down notes for our thing.
Wow. That
So
is
normally I
so,
will like sketch it and then
that
sketch
is
it out
cool.
big and then put it on clean paper.
Wow, that is so cool. I mean, these three pieces should buy all at the same time to create
Yes.
a series. So if you're watching this, I recommend you to buy all three of them. And again, you only have 20, like we only have 25 editions for each print. So once it's sold out, we are not going to create the size anymore. So you will never get to see them again at the store. So I I personally am excited for you because those are some of my favorites. I mean, especially the Valentino one, it's my personal favorite. I really hope someone will actually buy it and then hang it in their house and show us because I have done that and I'm like, oh, it's so good.
Hope so too.
Yes. Any other things you want to tell to your customers?
No, just stick with this draw dot community. They're doing good things.
Thank you. And yes, I'm sure like Jessica will produce some like drawings for Draw the Online Store in the future. So keep an eye at the store and who knows, maybe we'll have some really interesting architect series coming up at the Draw the Online Store.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for doing this with me today. And I'm
Thank
sure I
you.
will talk to you again very soon.
Well, yes, thank you for having me.
All right, no problem. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.